Hi guys, welcome back to Explainables, a very serious Explainables today. We have noticed a very disturbing trend with a lot of people missing, young women and also men. We have also noticed that there is a group that is very active, and if as far back as the missing and murder of Andrea Barrett, this group has been very instrumental in recovering missing people. We decided to chat with them to find out what are some of the trends and patterns in this very alarming trend that we see happening today. We have Sadro here with us, and we want to welcome and
Thanks.
We have Clarence here, from Valence from San Fernando, Hunters Search and Rescue, and we have Tanga here with us today. Today these gentlemen are going to explain to us some of the disturbing trends that we see happening. Gentlemen, welcome.
But just before we go into the trends, I'd just like to know a little bit about the organization,
Yes.
How when it was formed, quickly,
Sure.
And the name Hunters, is it derived from actual hunters who decide to get into this, search and rescue and things like that?
Sure. So, Aruna and Sadro, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning, and I agree with Aruna 100% that the issue of missing persons is a serious issue.
Yeah.
But Hunters Search and Rescue Team was formed in February 2021 when Andrea Barrett went missing.
There's what bring about it, Andrea Barrett.
Yes, I had asked. I saw policemen searching in non-parial estate in Sangre Grande in forested areas, and it caught my attention, and I said, let me reach out to the then Commissioner Gary Griffith and see what he would say about hunters joining the search. And I did reach out to him, and he responded positively. And so we joined the search. There were 13 of us on the first day.
All volunteers?
All volunteers, hunters, mainly from northeast Trinidad,
Right,
Sandy Grande area, who were responding. And so we assisted in the search, non-parial estate, Duranta Gardens, Jacob Settlement, and we spent the entire day with them. And then on the following day, we resumed the search. More persons came on board, and then on the third day, her body was found. We were just about 5 minutes away from Heights of a report that day.
Yeah.
But the persons who were part of the search team, Sadra and Aruna, they asked me to continue. And I said to them, do not set me up. If you want to continue, this will be an excellent team. It must be professional. It must have standards.
Professional what?
It must be professional in what we do.
Hunters?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there must be a touch of excellence to it. And it must involve hard work.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we've had the groups stuck together. We've sorted some bad eggs along the way, and now, for a couple of years now, Tunga, we are 32 strong. And to answer the question about hunters, I am from a hunting family, and I think the best persons to really understand that forested environment, or any environment that involves vegetation and rough terrain, is hunters, because we do possess a certain amount of skills. It's tracking skills, its ability to spot differences in the environment. It's a lot of things, but we are very observant, and that is what has brought us the success today, because we're able to recover bodies that persons would have given up on and bringing closure to families. So that's basically it. We are 32 strong, 2 in Tobago, 30 in Trinidad. We are a nice mix now. Youth, old like myself, and experience, male-female ratio is there. And we are a group that has now become a family of families, and that has caused us to stick together, because we celebrate each family in the team, and we all stick together and do the activities together.
So, do you have any link with the police? Because
So our motto really is closure matters, and our vision statement from our strategic plan says that we work with law enforcement to bring closure to families and to assist those families to achieve closure. Now, the work of this team isn't possible without law enforcement, and so we work.
You mean cooperation of law enforcement?
Yeah.
So you have good cooperation?
We have excellent cooperation.
Nice, yeah.
Every single police station, every single police unit is keyed in. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, the Arima police contacted us. A mother reported that she went to pick up her son in Heights of Report, where they have a estate house. And when she got to the house, there was a lot of blood. The police found sport force benches in the house, and they called us out to conduct a search. We went in the pouring rain yesterday, and we cleared the entire area around. There was no body lying around, and so that is how we help enforcement. Not everything we do is published on our pages or social media platform. There are many times we go on undercover operations. There was a gentleman in Tobago was kidnapped. I think he was Budu. Yeah, and we went undercover. We didn't put on uniforms, and we moved through the Tobago area undetected in an attempt.
But this is done in coordination with the police?
Always in coordination with the police.
Yeah.
So the unit assigned to work with us is the anti-kidnapping unit.
Right.
And we dialogue with them. We have an information sharing platform with them. And once we are going out in the field, we inform them. That is if they didn't plan the search with us.
Okay.
So,
which is done sometimes.
All right. So let's go to the last week Saturday. The ride share TT driver, right? We knew his car was seen in the penal district. Okay, the police would have gone in with their K9 units. They would have done some searches as well. And when we came back, when they called us to the drawing board, we said, "Listen, we think we could get in there together with you all and do a more intensive and a more detailed search of the area." Okay, they agreed. They went with us early Saturday morning. We can commence the operation at 8 a.m. in the morning. Our team is good at searching. We have the search skills. And within an hour and 20 minutes, we came across the body of the driver. And that is a story about how important we've become in this search business,
now, yeah.
Right? And so the police knows that they are investigators, but at the end of the day, at sometimes they need searchers, and that's why they call.
Well, let me ask you this: aren't you infringing on the right of the fire services because that is supposed to be their responsibility?
Well, it's difficult to answer that question because I don't know, but they do have a certain
Well, I don't know if the word
rescue
infringing
unit.
because you are helping.
No. I
Infringing is a
but you know,
word.
in this business, it does have. This does create heat. As far as I understand, all fire services usually have the responsibilities of searching and rescuing people.
Right, and they do have a dedicated.
And they're supposed to have people who specialize in bush warfare, if I may say so.
Well, and I'm not.
But I know that you guys will be better than them because
when it comes to the forested areas, I'm getting through because
If I
when we search,
So I
we
wonder
don't
if I
search
ask
on
you.
tracks.
yeah.
Wonder
We
ask
do
you
grid
to,
searching.
Mr. Rambarat. So it's mostly forested areas where
No, true anywhere, whether it's bushy areas, hilly areas.
No, but what is the trend in Trinidad where
Well, okay.
most bodies discovered, whether dead or alive?
I think most bodies don't are discovered at the side of the road.
Side of the road, yeah.
They go into these remote roads, whether it be rural or agriculture access roads throughout the country. They drive to almost to the end of these roads and they dump the bodies. Not too far, maybe 40 feet into the forest or the bush, 30 feet. And when we talk about tracking skills, we talk about looking at tire marks in the grounds and looking for any clues.
We go come to that now. We go start
No, but
now.
that's the things that you know, the technical aspect about who you're infringing on and
Yeah, but
who
coming
you're
back to the
helping.
fire services.
No, but the fire services.
What we've done with the fire services, and that's another partner.
And they may be wary of them and things like that. you
No,
know.
no.
Oh, we can do
We
that
do.
at another time. We wanted to touch on
Yeah, we
things
do.
that parents need to
We
know.
have
And
Very good partnership with the fire services. There was one instance, a teacher fell off the San Fernando Hill during Carnival 2024, and they called us because they had poor lighting. And when they called us, I was leading a team in an area called Flanagan Town, where Hunter's father had died on the trail there, and at that point in time we couldn't lend assistance. And there are other instances when they call us, we're doing something else. There's some instances when we join together and we team up and we're going together.
So, let me take things from the start now. I have a 16, 17-year-old daughter and she gone missing now. Well, obviously I will contact the police.
Yeah, sure.
Unless, of course, it's a kidnapping where you get a telephone call to tell you, do not contact the police. What going on after that now? Is my daughter gone missing?
But the first thing the team would do is take the information down and we ask you if you did report it to the police. And then the first question is asked, do you think that this person left voluntarily?
Well, yeah.
Because we have an arrangement with the anti-kidnapping unit. If someone goes missing and we feel harm would have come to them, we red flag that case and we put it on to the front burner. If somebody leaves voluntarily, the team handles it and we deploy a toolkit of devices to the parents and we work with the parents to try to get back the if it's a teenage girl. Now, a lot of these young people on social media platforms, and I was explaining to Aruna, the main culprit is Instagram. You don't have a way to have you just click that you're over 18. A teenage girl, 13, 14, and she's on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, so that's what is the trend though? The trend though, is it more people running away from home or leaving voluntarily, or is it that they're being kidnapped and discovered, or is it, I was wondering about the human trafficking involved, because I'm seeing men or boys and girls.
Some of them running around saying they kidnapped.
Well, right.
Too as well.
Yeah, it happens. So, in terms of trends, we're in the business 4 years now, and the trend is, there isn't a particular trend. We're looking at about 600 persons go missing each year from 2021 to 2023, right, for the past 3 years. Roughly 600, and let's break it down into categories. Under 18, male and female. In almost every instance, all those are accounted for. All right? In almost every instance, these under 18, the teenagers as we call them, they leave home voluntarily. And for various reasons.
They run away.
For various reasons. And so it is up to now, that is not an issue for us or for the public, I dare say, because they have been accounted for even after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up to a month, 2 months, but we work quietly with the parents to get them to come back. In some instances, we find, but we don't publish that they are found. That is the teenagers who run away from abuse, sexual abuse, and that sort of thing, and they found a safe haven, maybe by a relative, a close friend, a godmother, a godfather, and that type of thing, and we don't publish that they are found. And there's another aspect to it, is that in the cases of the teenage girls who are probably closer to 17 and 18, they go on to form relationships, and they're in a comfortable place, and
so they leave home.
They leave home and they're in a comfortable place, and they don't want to go back, and they go on and they form healthy male-female relationship with partners, and they move on.
But why is it classified as missing? They leave without telling parents.
Once they're under 18 leaves their parents.
That is classified.
Right, that is classified. Now we go on to the 18 category, and this is the dangerous. This is the one where we're looking at 18 to 50 years. Okay, in this category, we have on each given year almost 35 persons unaccounted for, right? And the reasons for them not being accounted for could be suicides and person not found. It could be drownings and person not found. It could be the missing fishermen and they who not found. It could be it could be victims of crime and we know that for a fact, and we never found the body. So it's about 35 inside there. And then the other category, I want to come back to this category here in a short while, and then the other category is the over 50. We
over 50?
Yeah. Yes, so we call them the elderly, and what we found is that these persons are either mentally ill, they suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's. They wander away.
Walk out from home again.
Walk away. Yeah. So we, in terms of walking away, and you have some medical issue, we classify those as lost. And we've had difficulty recovering some of those. They still remain unfound, maybe about 4 or 5 per year.
Mm-hmm. 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
Elderly, yeah.
So the entire, we're looking at.
But what usually happen to them? The 4 or 5 you can't find?
They wander away. And because
they must end up somewhere.
No, they drop down somewhere, they rest somewhere, and they're never found. They die.
Well, in some cases, the elderly, some who has been found is that the distance they wander away to is just unfortunately like 2 weeks after somebody
spot them
roam in the forest and just saw them. Yeah. So is the distance they wander away to in the forest sometimes?
But it could be far.
Yeah, very far. What we discovered is in these cases they move quickly and they move very far.
So is it mostly in rural areas that this happens?
This happens throughout the country.
Yes.
Right. Because you keep saying the forested areas
throughout the country.
Right.
So we have a couple of cases outstanding from 2023. I can remember Sandra Singh and the Bayam gentleman. Yeah. They both suffered from Alzheimer's and they wandered away from their homes and
like where they from?
Up today, they're from right in the Arima district.
And where they wandered to?
In the case of Bayam, his wife took him. They went out to shop, and from a parking area right there, he opened the door and he walked out. Never to be found.
Never to be found.
Never to be found.
Sorry?
The gentleman in Clarkson.
There's Ram Barak. Ram Barak is another one. He just walked off and up to the day, and the guy in Barakpur. And what about 87 this year? The guy Cardinal, Reginald Cardinal. An 87-year-old man walked past the Barakpur police station with a bag in his hand one Friday evening.
Yeah, Friday evening.
How many times you went there?
In the space of about 2 weeks, we went there about 10 times.
And worked with the police searching in the entire area. And up to now, he's still to be accounted for. But as a team, we once the elderly is involved, we push out and we push.
But those are not really reported because I don't see those so much on the social media platforms.
Yeah, they are. But we don't put when we're reporting them missing. We don't sometimes. When we do post, we don't know the entire story. Yeah. But as you get involved with the family, the story will come out and they will tell you.
So what I'm intrigued with though and want to find out is the category that not that the others are not important, but I find there is a trend with young men and women gone missing, and I am wondering if it is that they are being kidnapped. Not only for ransom but also for human trafficking, and or if it is that they leave home. Either way, it's a disturbing trend. If it is that they leave in home, then it means we have issues at home, and parents it's a different ball game and a different conversation.
Now, when let's deal with the issue of human trafficking head on, and what has been our experience, because we deal with a wide variety of missing persons, right? Well, human trafficking is either it's imported, exported, or internally driven, a totally local thing, right? We know that it is a fact. We have imported human trafficking with the with the influx of the persons from the mainland and other territories. We've never come across
any particular tribe, like I know because they have the Warahoo tribe, which a lot of people seem to come from, and they have other little tribes and things on the coastline there,
so
and internally as well too.
Right, but they come into Trinidad, right, and they for various reasons, right?
But they must have a ringleader.
Huh?
A ringleader.
We don't know, but in terms of exported, a person being taken against the will from Trinidad and exported as to be classified as human trafficking, we've never come across a case like that.
No.
However, what exists could exist because we've come across this in terms of the parent explaining to us why their child would have gone missing. Okay? Internally, you have to ask yourself, why are all these young female teenagers, why are they running away? And this is, you talk about trends, Aruna. Right now it's Java, July, August vacation.
Right.
Right, that's
Yeah.
the new term for it,
Yeah,
right?
Oh, you're well up to date, man.
It's better than summer.
What do you call it? Java?
Java.
Yeah.
So we've noticed, because I think it may have caught your eye within the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've been publishing a lot of missing persons.
Yes.
And that is indicative of the fact that school has gone on vacation.
Right.
And we've noticed a trend of teenage runaways, right? And we've also noticed that prior to Carnival and all school vacations, even down in South when you had Point Fortin Borough Day, Borough Week, we noticed that girls from that area were running away, right? So that's a trend. And also, the thing is, where do they go? So if you're missing for a period of 2 weeks, where do you go? Early in, you remember in the lockdown time for COVID, you had these parties coming to the fore. But we got information that several of the girls went missing in 2021.
2021.
Right? Were attending these parties and staying, and
What parties?
Zest parties. And I don't know
Wait, where is this?
So
Wait,
I'll come.
what-
It was a popular term in 2021.
What does that mean, Tanga?
Well, you know the tradition of young people when they say zest, they want to go online, they want to go and hang out, you know.
Zesaman.
Yeah,
I thought
zest.
that mean to bling, like to dress up and...
It was all of that, but what was also involved in these zest parties were that girls were being brought to these zest parties and had to perform on the stages, either in nude, semi-nude. Yes, this took place, and I know it's shocking to both of you, but it was spoken about in 2021.
No, boy, I would have met. I don't see anything already.
In 21, these parties were very, very popular, and we believe that it is continuing, and it's responsible for why some of the girls go missing. They hook up with a friend, they go by a friend's home, and then during the night they go out to these parties, and they do it for a period of days.
Under 18?
Under 18, yeah. And also I think in the 2018 that
No, what I mean, I was
maybe
trying to aim at when they go
2020.
without their parents' knowledge and things like that, and parents killing themselves, oh boy, the child is and like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Going just a party.
Yeah. So these are some of the trends, these are some of the activities they engage in, and it all has to do with it's a societal thing, but we've noticed just before big events they go missing.
In Trinidad, like holidays and things like that, yeah.
So earlier you were telling me about, how these teenagers and these people who go missing, how they access or gain access to whether they want to go to a Zesta party or go for 2 weeks or they go missing, how they form links, and you were telling me it was really on social media.
Yeah, so one of the tools we deploy, and the team becomes involved because we are young people on the team, right? They on top of the technology.
Right.
The parents are not on
You're
top of the
tooting your own horn, boy.
technology.
You're tooting your own horn.
Right? So the parents normally not on top of the technology. The biggest culprit is Instagram. You don't have to be 18 years old. You don't have to prove that you're 18 years old. You just press a button. I am older than 18, and you get on the Instagram platform. Now, in almost 99% of the cases, we've noticed the teenagers using that
Instagram.
platform. Yeah, but we've learned a lot. For instance, if you're a parent and you're monitoring your child's phone and you're looking for the app Sadro right on the screen, right? There is an app to hide apps.
Right.
Okay? Aruna, I'm sure you're on WhatsApp because we did communicate on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Pretend to be a young
You teach me
teenager.
something they were going to look for.
Listen to this. Pretend to be a young teenager. You're 17 years old. You're going home. You're on the app, the WhatsApp, but you don't want your parents to know. You simply delete the app. You go home, and when you get Wi-Fi, when you go back to school or wherever, you just reinstall WhatsApp, and all your messages are safe and you're back on target. But when you're home, your parents don't know that you're on WhatsApp.
So they could go searching if they want.
Parents don't know.
So that
you're
is
on
widely
Instagram.
used in Trinidad?
Yeah, and so as a team, right? Because we heavily involved and because we're committed and we're passionate, we've studied everything. So when you as a parent calls us, we say, okay, talk to the friends, see if we can get the Instagram handle for us, and we will be able to crack into the Instagram account, pull up all your last conversations.
So you have IT experts too then?
Yes, we do have, and we able to track and say, okay, she left, this is where she went, right? This is where she is at, okay? And in the case of girls, we don't go out and find them. We call the police. We call the police. They ask them to get together with the parent, and they go and pick them up and return them.
You mean when you find them?
Yeah, when they are found, right? In terms of the maids, we may go and get them and return them home. But this is how it works. We enter the age of the technology. The children are born. Sadro, they're born with this. The 2-year-olds, the 1-year-olds, you just hand them a phone and they
play with it,
automatically play with it. But they're using the technology to do what they have to do. And I guess Sadro and Aruna, there's the same thing that's happening in the criminal world, right? And that's why.
Well, I'm going to ask you, you might have insight into what going on with the kidnappings too, because at one point I know we had a serious problem that it has lessened to it in recent times, but
yeah, it has lessened.
Kidnapping.
For ransom.
Let's do a kidnapping for ransom because I know we work closely with the anti-kidnapping unit. So for 2024, there has been 3 kidnappings for ransom.
This year?
This year, you have 3 persons who have returned safely to their homes, and in the first 2 cases, persons are before the court. All right, both in the case of Anisha Hussein, the doubles vendor, there's somebody before the court on that one, and then earlier in the year, there was another Anisha, that is Otaraman's daughter-in-law. There's somebody before the courts on that one. Several persons in both cases before the courts. In the other case, I know that the anti-kidnapping unit is working hard to bring somebody before the courts.
So before you move from any other point, do you notice any particular patterns or category or group or trend of things or people that are targeted?
Yeah, it's certainly people who have money.
Well,
so
to zero it down from more than that.
Yeah,
business people who are more visual or who...
Aruna, if I had to kidnap you, I must know your family bank account.
But this thing spreading...
I would not kidnap you unless I know something about your
financial status.
So they get that information on the bank then?
And therefore, the whole question arises is the integrity of the banking industry and the confidentiality that is supposed to take place and we know persons have been speaking about this as a national, in the national community. And we saying as a team, it must be spoken about, because I would not spend resources and time to plan a kidnapping for ransom if I did not know that you have the ability to pay. Because I am, this is for money. And I must know that you have the ability to pay.
Want money,
so I must know something about your financial history.
But that signals that banks or maybe employees of the banks are revealing information to the criminal world.
There must be a source.
Because I mean,
it is a big concern in the national community that whether in fact there is integrity and confidentiality in the banking sector. I know the banks are working on it, but still, we know for a fact that things happen.
But
information is leaked.
Are there some of them drug related?
In terms of the...
Like, alright, let me say I take 2 pounds of cocaine from Aruna and she can't pay me, you know, so you send somebody. Like, I will send somebody, you know, to kidnap his daughter, his son.
I think it may exist, but that's in the realm of the gangs.
Yeah.
And
the underworld.
The gangs and the underworld.
Yeah.
And with respect to criminals, right? Once the team detects that it is crime related, we pull back a bit and we wait until the police to guide us in terms of whether, you know, we should really go there and find this body or that body. And in those exercises, full police accompaniment is asked and we get it.
But you seem to have a nice relationship with the police.
Oh, we have an excellent working relationship with the police. It's a healthy one, and we are held in high regard by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and the cooperation from the officers is there. Any one of us could walk into a police station and request anything and be treated in a particular way. That is welcome, that is appreciated. Because most times we're moving quickly. We have to move quickly.
You all operate throughout the whole country?
Yeah, we have 30 members, so we don't have an office, Sadro or Aruna. I think we don't need an office.
Right.
We have 30 intranets spread throughout the country, and we have 2 in Tobago.
Yeah, assembly point, man.
But we've locked down that, because if a search is called in Arima district, the ones from Arima will get there first and they will do the inquiry.
They will reckon the
area, and by the time we get there, they brief us.
And the territory too.
Right, so Tonga is in charge of San Fernando straight down to Siparia.
Really south, man?
Yeah. South.
Right, and then we have
What are some of the trends you notice in South?
Some of the trends that really happening in South is more like young
people run away.
Yeah. It have 1 or 2 instances where we had some elderlies, but we get closures.
So is it that parents are too strict or stricter and children are rebelling, or is it that...
Is that trend now?
Well, yeah, all that could be part of the trend, because you know nowadays young people will come and the mommy or daddy, I want to go in the mall, my friends going, so I want to go with them. You know, mommy, daddy can say, well, okay, I will drop here and I'll pick you back at a certain time. And somebody, they don't like that. They want to just be free outside there when they, you know.
The rebellious.
Yes.
But Aruna, I want to make a point. There's some of our persons who went missing in the under 18 category because the parents would want to impose some bit of control on them, and they take away the device. They would have left home because of that.
Yes, we had instances.
We had quite a few cases. Far phone. So once you shut down the line of communication with them, they throw a tantrum and pack a bag and they go.
Yeah.
And they go buy some.
Well, tell me about some of the unusual experiences that have had.
But before
unusual situation.
Before we do that, and I'm glad you raised it, that 18 to 50 category, that is where
The bulk.
No, it is the bulk, and it's the the bulk is the teenagers.
Right.
It is also an area where we have to look for bodies.
That's the most red flagged areas.
Red flagged
areas.
Currently we have.
That's a wide group.
Yeah.
That's a big gap.
Yeah, currently we have 2 women in there who have not been accounted for, who we suspect are victims of crime. One is Keisha Worrell from Diego Martin, and the other one is the girl from Princess Town, right? We conducted ISIS, right?
From Princess.
ISIS James. So we conducted
James
extensive searches for both of them, and they still have not been found. Okay, now let me deal with an highly unusual.
Yeah, give us 2 unusual ones.
We got a call from a gentleman's daughter stating that he was missing for about 6 days.
The father?
Your father, yeah. And when it was in the Manzanilla area, just around, what's the name of that place there now? Tiki Bar, which is the Manzanilla resort area thing. But you know, opposite there, you have the sea, the resort there, and then you have up the road, and then you have swamp.
And then you have
So his job was to go into the swamp on these palm trees and other types of trees and harvest the young parrots. So when we got up there, we said, okay, boy, it's in the swamp. So yeah, he went in there to get the young parrots. So we said, okay. Now you talk, Sadro, about walking in water up to this. We seeing the areas.
Yeah.
So we had no problem. So we went back to the drawing board on this one. We do have 2 drones on the team. We have drone pilots as well. So we took them up there, and thank God, in the middle of the swamp, the drones were able to pick up a flock of kobo on one particular tree. Let me go on with the story. So when came back and we hatched our plan, we needed to get to that tree, so we recruited 2 villagers, and we went into the swamp, walking through water. This is, you're talking about anaconda infested water, caiman infested water.
All different.
Now to move through that water, to move through that swamp, it's not about putting on heavy protective gear. The guys in the swamp moved through with just bare feet, short pants, and a jersey. So we had to lighten up. Because in most cases it meant tiptoeing on the soft mud to get.
And then that soft mud.
And after about 3 hours of because we had the location from the drone, we were able to transfer that to our WhatsApp location. So the guys were guiding themselves to the tree. And on this particular tree, let me tell you what had happened. He went up there to harvest the parrots, and something happened. He probably slipped and fell, and his ankle got caught up into the V of a branch.
And he hooked up there?
And he hooked up there, and he fell. Well, he was hanging upside down.
And
he died. So,
oh shucks.
I am saying today, about 9 days.
Oh my God.
Body was completely decomposed. I am saying today categorically, if were not for Hunter's search and rescue team, there would have been no closure on that gentleman. Right? It's a most unusual case. It was a challenging one for us because the first time we're going into that type of environment, and it's one where there were challenges, but we were able, just on the sheer passion and commitment of team members, and I should say bravery, we were able to get in and locate that tree and find the body. So that's one of the most interesting cases we have. We have
one more.
Tunga, you could pull one.
Let me see if I can remember. The amount is so much, you just can't.
But you all.
But how you live? Like, do you have a regular job? Are you always?
All right. So let me. I am now retired, and we have 4 retirees who are always on the search.
Right.
Okay. So that we start with 4. Tunga is self-employed. We have a couple of businessmen who are on the team, and there are guys who work shift. and various types of jobs. So what we need to do a search is 8. We need 8 persons. We're starting with 4 retirees like myself, who sometimes better than, and then we need another 4. So out of the 30 in Trinidad, for instance, we were able to pull another 4 and start.
Right, and depending as the situation goes on.
And so different searches, we rotate to see new faces every 2-3 searches, and that's how we operate. But everybody, Aruna and Sadro, every member of the team is now internationally certified as first responders, and
by whom?
And a highly certified organization in the United States, an energy company paid for him to come down to Trinidad to train us for a few days, and we certified also in wilderness training. So we are certified. Now the thing about going out there, we didn't talk about rescues. And assisting people.
Don't worry, you gotta come back.
is simply that to handle somebody who is needs medical attention before being rescued, we had to be very careful, and we wanted to be certified in that regard, because one of the first things we tell the person, if they could respond, is that we are medically trained. We are certified to handle.
So like a first aid.
Everything to do with first aid, everything. We have portable, these light portable, what do you call them? Stretchers? We well equipped, for a small team.
So that brings me to the other point now.
So,
how are you funded? Because I find you talking a lot of technology and sophisticated equipment.
No, I was going to put it in this way. You are a fantastic organization doing human service.
Without a financial model.
Right. What can John Public outside there, including corporate things, do for you?
All right, so let's talk about how corporate Trinidad has been responding. I think they're looking on at us. We are a young organization, 4 years. We didn't think we would have gone onto the national, become a household word so quickly. But corporate Trinidad has been responding when we out there at KFC with suppliers with hot meals for the entire team.
Right. Which is very good,
We now have Starbucks on board, the suppliers. We are a coffee loving team, right? Because that is what keeps us, right? Sandro could identify with that. And then we have SNS Supermarket, they have outlets in South Trinidad. If we have to overnight, they supply groceries and they support the team in generally.
But that's very good, eh?
Right, and then we just had Caribbean safety products coming on board to assist us with safety.
What do you need mostly?
I think where we need to get assistance from is the guys use their vehicles. There's a certain amount of carpooling, and then we use basically 2 or 3 vans to get to our location. All right, and I think some of the persons need assistance with fuel, and I think that is the next level we need assistance with. Now, most of our donations are in kind, and we like that. I think the only cash requirement we require at this point in time is to assist those who need to be assisted. Sometimes we have a few businessmen on the team. I assist. I say hold something, but I don't say hold. I say put 100, put 150,
gas,
right? In gas, diesel. But those vans.
So you use your personal vehicles.
Up to this point in time, personal vehicles.
So does it have vehicle yourself?
No. So one of the requirements I want to make, one of the things we need is that you have contractors out there who have lots of those pickups, and if they are kind to look at their fleet and say, okay, they could donate one to us, we're willing to accept that.
Right.
All right, that is something.
Start to build your own fleet.
So we're making a call on our explainables that this is what Hunter Search and Rescue would require now. Top priority. Transportation and fuel, so that they could embark on their duties. And
what about people who want to make cash contributions now and things like
well, we've become we now registered, fully registered.
Okay.
And the final stages of getting the bank account because of all this NAFTA requirements and whatnot. So in the final stages of getting
So
the
soon
bank account.
people can make contributions.
Contributions.
And you will be able to buy your own vehicle just now.
Yeah, but
Is there any other way people can help outside it?
yeah, but the thing is, there are other ways. For instance, sometimes we get out there early in the morning. Call us if you could supply our breakfast for us early in the
But
morning.
how would we know where you are? Let's say I want to do
Just
something.
call us at 799-1453.
Wait, first of all, you have your Hunter Search and Rescue page on Facebook.
Okay, we have that. We on Instagram, we on TikTok, and then but our.
I'm a top fan, eh? I got a top fan
Oh,
badge.
nice.
Yes, I know that.
So
for sure, yeah.
we want to our number is 799-1453. We ask you to memorize it, but just reach out to us via WhatsApp. Leave a message, messenger, and just say, you know, we're willing to assist.
You got post up ways too.
Yes.
People in the area.
So that's how we will know. So if you went south and somebody wants to
so I
contribute
like that
south.
idea. Sadra and Aruna, that's an excellent idea, Tunga. We would post where we are.
If you go in on that
because
second,
I will tell you this, right? We are a hard-working team. The leader is a taskmaster, right? That is myself. If we required a searcher's plan and you're required to be there
my
for 6 a.m.
My mother is called a slave driver.
Yeah, that's the term for it. So if you're required to be there for 6 a.m. and the searcher starts at 6 a.m., some of the guys, sometimes they reach up there, they ain't get nothing to eat because they get up a little late, they're rushing, they want the captain to move them. But they get there without having something to eat. With the KFC, we either use it for lunch or dinner. So if we
outside later.
If we prefer it for dinner, we have that, but then there's a gap for lunch, right? So because the team is pushed, you need fuel to get this team
We have
keep on
to
the
try and
ground.
find a way to form a link with you so that we will know where you are. So for example, if you are in the Port of Spain area or San Juan area or one in northern side, we would know where you are and we would be able to say, well, today search and rescue is on in this area and who can assist, because I am sure there are many people, because a lot of people don't know how it's operated, how it's funded.
And I'm happy for you all.
If it wasn't for her, I would not be aware of this organization.
Serious.
Yeah, because she keeps saying it all the time.
But we always there in the media.
But I noticed that, and you know, the posters are very, because it's bright red.
Yeah.
So I realize every day that, you know, we
But I think we pay attention to detail. You remember we spoke about being professional at the beginning of the thing, and I think if you're doing something, you must strive for excellence. So in everything we do, I want to talk about something before we leave.
Sure.
And Sadhu, I think we stay away from the crime thing, right? Because this thing, we are focused on this, missing persons. And crime is a big thing out there. There are so many facets, the criminal justice system, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, a lot of assets. So we don't want to get involved. But after last week's bloody weekend, an organization reached out to us, Nikki Just Productions or something like that. Coincidentally, they were doing a collaboration with Jamaican and Trinidad reggae artists for a peace and unity song, and they want to launch the song. They chose us to launch the song, and they chose us to start the community visits. It's a non-political organization. So on Sunday, we're starting at Besor Street and we're going into the St. Paul's Street area. The name of the song is Real Unity Medley. It's a totally positive.
What's the name of the song?
Real Unity Medley.
Real Unity
Medley, and it's a powerful message wrapped into the song, and we thought that only because the response is totally positive, we would get on board and kickstart the visits to communities by this group of people. And we were privileged to have been chosen to kickstart it. So on Sunday we're going to do Besor Street, the St. Paul Street area, Piccadilly area. Now it's a powerful message in song, and it's totally powerful messaging on that day, because I think that could assist people to experience something positive. The youth experience a good memory on that day and begin to try to think of, something else. Yeah.
So we're running. We're almost 2 minutes before we close today. Quickly, just one word to parents. What would you say?
I think you have to be extremely vigilant with your children, and you've got to know what they're doing at every step of the way. The best way really to counteract this is to have a healthy parent-child relationship, mother-daughter, father-son, father-daughter relationship, and keep a healthy relationship with the family, because really, because of the trend, we want to see a reduction in persons who go missing. And secondly, there is another aspect we didn't talk about today, and that is when these young 2 and 3 and 4-year-old children wander out the home. We call it an unguarded moment, and parents take the eyes off the children for just a fleeting moment, and they wander off. 5-year-old girl in Irene, the autistic child who we had to rescue after 12 hours alive, and that was simply an unguarded moment. Alan Ramdial in Ottawa, he slipped off the jetty there and fell and drowned. And that is another aspect you need to pay attention to. These
and then we had Kimani in
point 14. So these unguarded moments, you need to pay attention to that and
be a little more vigilant.
Vigilant, right? So the key word, I think, is vigilant. Monitor your children, but at the same time, build healthy relationships with your children, because these are children, right? You cannot be angry in the conversation all the time. You need to sit down and talk to your children and listen to them and exchange their ideas. I think, Aruna, the most powerful relationship in our family is a mother-daughter relationship. There's nothing to beat that. The strength of that is the most powerful thing, right? Most daughters and mothers have strong relationships. And so, we sing, build these relationships, strengthen it, and you'll have less problems.
Well, it is without doubt that this will be your last visit here, or with us. All right, because we want you to, anything that you may have to update, or you'd like to spread that information, we'll be happy to share it with John Public for you on your behalf.
Yeah, so we just reached out to me yesterday. We were on a tough search. I got in late. Had to be in Port of Spain at 7 o'clock this morning. But at 60 years, I'm full of energy, right? So, and the thing is, I fulfill all my obligations in terms of meeting and getting the word out, because, communication.
But this is a matter of getting the word out. So,
we intend to spread the word for you.
We'll thank you very much. Anyhow.
Yeah.
And thank you very, very much for coming and seeing us.
Thanks for coming.
Sadro, you're a man. I listened to for years and years. And I had some partner, Philip Sukwande from DV, Robin.
Yeah, no, we just want you to watch that way.
Okay, Robin and they from DV. When we linemen, and that time reached, switch it to Sadro.
For Bacchanal.
To have a good time.
Same thing.
Well, thank you very much for coming, and we hope that you guys on Explainables. Remember, Hunter Search and Rescues are 799-1453. Say that again.
799-1453.
And they say they're also on Facebook and Instagram.
You can log on to Facebook, and
TikTok.
again, you can contact them at 799-1453. Be a top fan, like I follow you every day. Take care, guys, and we'll be back next Sunday at 8 on Sadru Mohammed's page on Facebook.